Hello, my name is Alicia Cecil, and I'm a MSW student at Western Kentucky University. I chose to do a video for the personal reflection assignment. Personally, I feel okay on video, and so I thought that this would be a good option for me. Um, for part one, personal experience and beliefs, describe a significant experience or of grief or loss in my life, or one that I've observed closely. Um, My husband's family lost an uncle 2 years ago, and he was killed in a motorcycle accident. And I, it was really sudden, but I was there to witness the funeral arrangements. I attended the funeral, and then after the funeral, they made a meal, and I also attended the meal where everyone got around a table and they cried and they talked about memories that they had of this individual, and they laughed because he was a funny guy. And then every year on his anniversary of his death date, they have another meal and they get together and they talk about him, share pictures, um, and then they cry and they laugh and they have a good time celebrating the life that he did live. Um, how I responded emotionally, cognitively, and behaviorally. To be honest, I have only grieved the loss of my father when I was 24 years old, and I did not grieve him in a healthy way. I chose to use substances to get through that. And when I was observing my husband's family, even at the funeral, like I was kind of just there. I didn't say much. I did cry some because I did know him a little bit. I knew him for about 3 years, so I did cry. Um, I really cognitively didn't think much about it other than it reminded me because my husband's cousin is 23 and that was her father. So it reminded me of like myself when I had lost my father, but I chose to use substances and she didn't. And I thought about that. Like I thought about the pain that she was feeling and the sadness. And I thought that, if she can get through this, then it would teach me something. And so I did learn from that situation behaviorally. Um, like I said, I was just really there, just kind of observing and being supportive to the family and my husband, of course. And I tried to help out with like cleaning up and um, taking care of the kids that were running around and stuff like that. The beliefs about grief and loss that were reinforced or challenged by this experience. Um, so prior, I had thought like when you grieve that you plan the funeral and you attend the funeral and then you're just sad afterwards. But this allowed me this experience to know that there are other ways to grieve, and it doesn't have to be all sadness. Like there can be happiness also involved when talking about the individual that's no longer with us and remembering the good times and sharing pictures and laughter. Um, my cultural background, family traditions, or spiritual beliefs shaped by my understanding of grief. Um, I don't really have any cultural background that shaped my understanding of grief or family traditions. Um, but spiritually, I am very strong in my faith, and I understand that, well, I believe that when someone passes away, they go to be with the Lord. And I like to say that I am a baby Christian just because I have only been sober for 8 years. And so I'm still learning a lot about my beliefs and my faith. But at first, like, I was sad that the uncle had passed, but afterwards, I just told myself, like, he's in a better place. Um, rituals, practices, and norms that influence how I or others process the loss. Well, like for my husband's family, the practices that they they have are to um, plan the funeral, attend the funeral, and then to get together and cook a big meal. And every year after his funeral, on the anniversary of his death date, they get together and cook a meal and celebrate his life, share pictures, share memories, visit his gravesite, and take flowers. So it's pretty cool to see that, because I never did that with my dad. And it showed me that, there's other ways to grieve that are healthy, and that, like, now, if I was to lose my mom, I would know that I have support, I have coping skills, and I wouldn't feel like I need to turn to substances to get through that. But watching my husband's family grieve in the way that they have with their practices has taught me that there are differences in the way that families and people grieve. Part 3, how this might impact my work with clients, my personal experiences and my beliefs. So, for one, I understand that all clients are not Christian, and also that you cannot impose that on clients. If a client starts the conversation and wants to talk about their faith, then we can engage in that conversation. But I would not be bringing up my own personal beliefs with my faith with my clients. And then my personal experiences, some of the clients that I may work with might not have families that are local or that are even close knit to where they would cook a meal together. So, my best personal experience that I could bring to the table working with clients would just be like the discussion about identifying coping skills and support, whether that be family, friends, online support groups, therapists, case manager, anything in that kind of area that would be healthy for my clients to be able to process and talk about their feelings and the grieving process, and even memories of the person that they are grieving. But you have to be aware of the do's and the don'ts, because when working with clients, you don't want to influence their beliefs with your own personal beliefs, and because that can just get really messy. And so I think that my personal experiences and my beliefs might not impact my work with clients as much, just because I know that boundary and I know not to cross it. But this is an area that I need work with. Like, I haven't personally grieved that many people, and I've not observed a lot of loss or grieving. And so I'm really excited to take this class and to look at the information and the material that's available for me to deepen my understanding. And also, even after this class is over, like, to continue my education and learning, attend trainings that help me to understand how working with clients that are grieving, and to be a more successful social worker. So thank you so much for listening. Have a good day.